this why apparently said at the Animator that
你这么菜，你的队友不会生气吧，哥哥？
that going into it we had that patch, right? The kind of bigger patch that changed up Dota a bit. And he said that they didn't have to really change their drafting at all because most of their heroes got buffed. Do you feel like that has continued post Animator? Or is do they just have such a wide variety that it's like it doesn't really matter?
If you play everything, then everything got buffed. Technically.
Yeah.
Hard to say, really. I think that the thing that really makes this lineup dangerous is because if you think about a lot of teams, I'm not going to name any, but maybe 0 and 4, a lot of their players have what I call hero volatility. So if you put them on one of their 3 best heroes, they'll look incredible. But if suddenly they're picking or playing their 10th or 11th best hero, they go from, you know, a 9 to a 5.
Okay.
Ame, Fate
could have said 4. But...
I was thinking about it, but that's the wrong meme, and a lot of our viewers are not gonna remember her vote.
That's an old meme for sure. You were saying?
Well, we might have a contest over the bottom room.
We definitely are, because they're gonna go for the Fisher block. If somebody pops their head out from TSpirit, okay, the arrow does land, but now they throw out the Fisher, kind of blocking in Toronto Tokyo, which makes it a little bit awkward for him. He has to level up to Simulate in order to make it so his situation is okay. He is fed a tango by Mira, so the damage that was done can undone, but it just means he doesn't get to use better ability in lane right away. Yeah, Resonant Pulse.
Indeed, and Disruption level 1 is not exactly ideal either.
Yeah.
But it's really cool how PSG played that, right? Like, it's all this community. They just did it the right way. You know, hey, we'll send our 5 forwards, he'll tank some damage, and they force a slightly favorable exchange for them.
Yeah. It's not like the Morphling, even if like Clockwork got really low and had to go back to base or something like that.
Yep, exactly.
Morphling would have been fine. It's not a matchup he has to worry about just yet.
I had the pleasure of laning with Ame. One of the things I'm kind of itching to do, like more than cast. You know, I'll sub somebody.
Did he yell at you like a certain famous streamer?
No, we actually did really well together. I'm 3-0 with Ame on my, in my lane.
Is that about you or is that about Ame? The fact that you're even taking a pause there says so much, Kyle.
I think Dota, more than anything, it's about synergy.
Just be humble and say, yeah, Ame carried the hell out of me.
It is quite nice after laning with some of the other famous faces in European reach, but the only concern I have is up top, why on Clockwork? This hero, not the greatest laner, especially against 2 range.
Yeah, double range is pretty painful.
Yeah.
You're an anti-melee hero, Clockwork.
Exactly. He's getting the pull-off. Surprised that they're allowing this on the side of TSpirit, because Morph has no real trouble lasting under tower, and you're just giving it to him like, for free.
Yeah, I feel like they maybe just kind of forgot. They also have left their hard camp blocked as well. You know, which is something that Abrana usually like wants to be able to have access to. Like, this is the exact opposite of what they would want it to be. They want their hard camp unblocked, and they want the easy camp blocked, and they could just arrow hard camp creeps. And there's nothing, like, Y could try and pull it, but it would still be missing creeps and very easily dealt with.
Yeah, look at the CS, right? I mean, Ame with the 5 CS advantage, but it's the XP. Like, he's almost level 4. Where, you know, this is perfect for Y. He wants to give his Morph this lead. It's one of the best heroes at utilizing that little bit of advantage, because you suddenly hit with like a 20 or 30 damage on the enemy core.
Yeah. And you also can get the level 2 morph, which means that if you're ever in any danger, you morph to a point where it's very difficult for people to overwhelm that regeneration. Mid lane matchup. How's that going? 14-3 compared to 13-4. Toronto Tokyo on what is very much a signature hero for him. He has been killing it on the Void Spirit all season long.
Is, I would say, his best hero. So we'll look to see him perform. Up top, we had missed it, but they actually got the cancel on the salve.
Okay.
Now Ame had been exposed.
Does manage to hit him with the combo there, but again, the strength morph. A lot easier.
Yeah, this is something that I've seen all of the Chinese carries utilizing on their Morphling. Falcon Blade Rush. Sometimes into Lincoln's, but oftentimes when Ame plays it, it's the immediate Mask of Death. And once you have those two items up, you can effectively just go jungle whenever necessary and have almost 100% uptime on map.
It's nice being able to have that that versatility of decision making, right? Where you can just try and continue dominate the laning phase if you want to, or you can go jungle if they really try and pressure you. First blood going the way of Faith Beyond as they manage to pick up Maposhka.
Yeah, I really like this decision by GQ. He went for the Blightstone at minute 0. And we've talked about this, especially against a Tiny that doesn't have the greatest support behind him.
Yep.
He's a 0 armor hero.
Yeah.
Like, you just hit him. And if you consider the way armor functions, like, when he's Blightstone, he's effectively taking more than pure damage from your right clicks. And you can see that.
And then those right clicks are a lot if you start leveling up Enchant Totem as well.
Yes.
Which I'll love to see if Faith Beyond gets an extra level in that in 4 and 5. Or if he goes for the more farming build of the Aftershock, which allows you to be able to get that Blink Dagger build up faster. Maposhka, nice Splinter Blast. That was probably max range to be able to get the slow. And if he can get in front of him, block him up a little bit more, that's enough to be able to get the Aftershock hit. And a little bit more blocks, and they probably got him dead. They may not have gotten that Aftershock, but they get the long range Enchant Totem hit. Faith Beyond to get a second kill on Maposhka.
Yeah, and now it's treads for Faith Beyond. Like, this hero, if you have something that can zone the Shaker earlier on, it's maybe not ideal. But when you get ahead, like, not even ahead, you have treads. Like, how do you lane against this hero as a melee?
Yeah.
Like, you just tank an enchant and a smack, and suddenly it's like 200 damage to the face, and it's a 5-second cooldown for almost no mana.
Yeah. These squishier heroes, Mirana, Venge, Shatter Demon, like when he gets that Aghanim Scepter, you can get 100 to 0 so easily. This Quarter Shaker is definitely back.
Very much so.
Arrow trying to surprise Ame. Catching the wall is relatively low health, but misses.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well up top. Venge is out CSing Ame, but he's just getting a lot more XP. 5.5, Venge just about to hit 5.
Easy shot.
Again, the real thing for Spirit is their ability to push the tempo. Their draft is effectively just kill, slay, kill. There's no real synergy later on in the game with illusions on an ally suddenly adding a ton to the pushing power.
Yeah.
It's just a solo carry, a Toro, and a whole bunch of stuns and utility. So
yeah, if you look at it, it almost looks like it's supposed to be like a Luna carry, between having a Venge and a Shadow Demon. It's like or a Terrorblade.
Exactly. I was gonna say, if you have something like a Terrorblade, this whole lineup kind of takes on a different meaning, but at the same time, you're playing into Wyvern Shakers, so that didn't necessarily feel great. Here comes that first rotation. Immediately the EXO on the bottom tower. They want to pressure the tiny lane, but here's Tokyo.
What to do about this? They certainly need the backup. Good rocket flare to be able to scout Toronto Tokyo, but they may still be able to catch Zinq here. Is slowed down by the disruption. Toronto Tokyo is going to be able to make that second jump to commit to the kill. Nothing to say. No way to really punish there. Not with all of TSpirit in force like that. Ame taking advantage of the fact he knows everybody is away to play in the bottom lane. Try and bully Collapse a little bit.
Steph, he has his ult skills. Might surprise Collapse here.
Turns around. Q. Yeah. He got faded into that real hard. And now Ame's like, okay, I'm all by myself, so I'm just gonna go max agility and heal up.
And that's what makes this hero so scary, right? Because he gets the kill, he goes to 0 HP, and then because he has this time left alone, he'll be full health and half mana by the time you get back to the bench. But really nice. I love that they, like PSG.LGD, they just kind of naturally do all the right things. They make that play bottom, but Y is soaking experience mid. still useful. That scouting rocket flare ensured all they lost was a support after the mass rotation from Spirit. So, this isn't a team that looks for like the huge play. They just play good EV-focused Dota. They take the tiny wins, stack them on top of each other until they get that big fight. Decisive.
There it goes.
And another poke at Collapse. This is a hero. Okay, so I still hold that this Vengeful Spirit cannot have a bad laning. Make me on, prove me wrong, but I also feel like that's just LGD being LGD. That's just not fair. I feel like for everybody else, Vengeful Spirit has to have a strong 10-15 minutes. Otherwise, that Aghanim Scepter gets way too delayed. Disruption Arrow combo is going to be able to catch Y. He's been trying to scout into this triangle a lot. He's blocked the hard camp once with a sentry. He actually is going to have it reblocked here. And they actually threw a ward that is immediately going to be spouted. Doesn't last for long.
Did swipe the bounty though. So it's a slight win. Nothing to say. He knows exactly what he wants to do. Once again, Exorcism's available. I will run to the bottom lane and attempt to kill the enemy tower.
And I feel like this time around, it should be free, just because Team Spirit are investing so many resources into protecting their triangle.
I also just realized we forgot the combination that PSG.LGD acquired.
Oh yeah, the Shaker Morphling?
Yeah, something like, it was maybe tweaked a bit, slight nerfs, but this is one of the scariest combos in Dota.
Is this going to be enough? Certainly don't have enough nukes by itself. Magic Missile also being disjointed by the waveform. Doesn't feel great. Swap back, nothing to say. He's going to try and chase down Baposhka here. The rest of Team Spirit in a little bit of no man's land. Even worse that the clockwork was on the other side of things. Collapse, battery assault, ticking, hoping that it wouldn't hit a neutral, but it keeps on sticking onto the neutrals. Collapse does manage to get away just ever so barely because of that.
So one of the problems when you have this SP in the north is that I don't believe it's possible to prevent Morph from out of disruption. Like, you're gonna be able, based on the way that it's coded, to shift strength, even if the arrow is overlapping with the disruption. So you can't BKB, but you can Morph. It's a very strange interaction. Thus, as you can see, even with 4 heroes, kill it, you need some form of regen reduction, and find the Spirit Vessel. It'll be the Mirana, but still a ways away on
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures.
And yeah, I mean, Faith Beyond is more than halfway to Aghanim. Skipping Blink, huge fan of, especially in a game like this. There's a lot to cancel your Blink.
Trying to go for the hook shot. Wasn't quite on the mark the first time. Pump baked it a few times. That smoke is still going to net them Baposhka. And what is probably more valuable at this point in time, if they can take some of these stacks, then, I'm looking at this. We said Team Spirit need to be crushing the first 15 minutes, and it's looking like...
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Regeneration!
You just not have any heavy stuns or anything? Oh no. I mean, Zay just kind of casually got to walk away. Jumping forward, Baposhka threatened by Ame, but ultimately Ame's just saying, "Hey, this is my area. Nobody else gets to be in my area."
And it just kept telling it's going to be an issue. And somehow nothing to say. 2-0, but top net worth. Very impressive. Death Prophet, not exactly the greatest flash farm, but he's done a really nice job being efficient with his time. I mean, not a huge lead landing stretch of the inclination, just 5-3 and 1,000 gold, but Morphling, Earthshaker. You start, it's like watching, bad enough when you had to fight the Hulk, but then you get Thorbot, you put them on the same team. The Hulk Buster, is that it?
What? That's Hulk inside of Iron Man's machine.
So that's,
Is that what you're
that's
talking
the
about?
normal one. That's just a regular shaker, but now you have both. And I don't know how you play Dota as like a Shadow Demon or a Mirana. Oh, nice ulti.
Beautiful curse that is going to set up a really nasty Cogs with nothing to say, just being like, yes, thank you very much. Toronto Tokyo is not getting away. The Crypt Swarm at the edge with the two little ghosts. Double kill for nothing to say. And just when you thought maybe TSpirit were going to be able to get a little something going on, it was like, okay, they've killed Faith Beyond twice. That's nice. Well, they do have Spirit Vessel for Mira, so that's a very big pickup and one of the most useful tools for being able to bring down a Morphling. The question for me is, when can they jump the Morphling? They got to wait until at least this Shadow Blade or Utoro. Then maybe they can surprise Ame, catch him while he doesn't have a ton of strength. It might even be the Utoro 100 to 0s him, but
Being very disciplined though. Love this from Ame, where keeping a pretty significant amount of strength. He's at 1500 HP at the moment, just because Tiny was off map. So what if he did have a Shadow Blade? He could actually get solo killed. He's the chain that is the case.
Nice kill there. Jinkyu getting popped by Utoro, but again, it feels like TSpirit, they just have to rotate multiple heroes to different sides of the map to be able to get one pick. It's not actually changing the net worth chart that much. LGD is still holding that 2,000 net worth lead, but again, Shadow Blade is crucial here, and big window for TSpirit to be able to turn around that win probability. That would be super nice to TSpirit.
Ame is 1,000 gold from his E-Blade. It's just, we haven't seen him, right? He left the laning phase and said, all right, guys, I'll be back. Just give me 5 or 6 minutes. But
Venge still needs another 1,400 gold for the Aghanim Scepter, which is, that's one of the things, right? Venge, pretty squishy hero, but at least she has some armor. Very susceptible to magic damage. So kind of need to get that Aghanim Scepter before that E-Blade's online, otherwise you're just not going to have a Venge post team fight.
that Invis was a bit early. They still saw the bench on a creep, so if PSG.LGD were paying attention, they should know this is happening.
Yeah,
like rocket it to the face, they might have an idea.
Yeah, it seems like they definitely know, especially thanks to that ward that is just outside of the Roshan pit paired with the Sentry.
Look at the ward, like beautiful wards for PSG.LGD. Like, think about the last two they placed and their understanding of what's going to happen in this game. One above their tier 2 tower, because that's where Spirit was looking to play, and another just in front of the Roche pit. So the two areas Spirit want to play in are now visible, and a smoke coming out. They'd love mid tower, level 2 exorcism prepared, and a haste rune, and a DD already popped. This is very spooky.
Smoke breaks, smoke breaks, smoke breaks 3 times there, and it's gonna be LGD who find the opening onto Collapse. And that'll be a free pickup. I'm not wrong, right? TSpirit, they double smoked on accident, right?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen a double smoke instantly break like that.
Yeah, and this is just such a huge time. Faith Beyond, even better than a Blink Dagger. This Aghanim Scepter is just terrifying. Like, absolutely terrifying.
Is under attack.
5-second cooldown for a near 1,000 jump, 1.5 second stun.
Yeah.
Doesn't even really need to dunk. And Ame didn't even like think about attending that engagement. He was just farming. Now as an E-Blade.
This is one of those games where your carry could literally...
You see this?
Trying to jump him. Unfortunately, the Aghanim Scepter a little bit slow. Yatoro changes course. Not caught by that, but will be hit by the second one. Slowed down enough that he is definitely dead.
Gorgeous.
Really nicely baited. As you said, LGD read where TSpirit wants to be able to play on the map. That ward sentry combination spots them out.
Their ward was placed 3.5 minutes ago. That's how far ahead they are, TSpirit, right now.
Yeah. 3.5 minutes ahead, nothing to say. Oh, nice tank there from Y, making sure the arrow doesn't actually land onto the Death Prophet. Still healthy enough to keep going. Faith Beyond jumping into the Mirana to be able to finish him off. And, oh, the Cold Embrace is not enough. The magic damage actually managed to finish him off. Mira got away at the same time, nothing to say. Did chase down Miposhka here and is still looking for Collapse. Sentries on out. They're going to be able to spot him. Arrow actually does manage to catch him here. They're going to recommit. The Winner's Curse laid out onto Toronto Tokyo because they see that double damage. They silence the overlay, that disable, to make sure that Toronto Tokyo, which would have been a critical double damage that could have won that fight for them, wasn't able to make the jump over. Wasn't able to actually get on top of the Death Prophet.
That's just beautiful. And I love having that overlap, that, you know, silence, you don't lose any damage, right? It's just an instant 100 overlay. There's no way to continue that engagement as the Void Spirit. And just, man, you know, TSpirit, this is a solid Dota team. I've been hearing a lot of praise behind the scenes for the squad, but PSG.LGD, it's like, they're just so good. Like, I find myself gushing about them, watching their matches over others, simply because if you really study the little things that they do right, it's why they're such a machine.
Yeah.
Like that ward, I don't know where you play as TSpirit. They want this mid tower. They need to open up the map, but how are you going to get it? That's the question. Because it's the same idea where PSG.LGD, they're just holding hands, 4 heroes, on top of the high ground. Gonna find the ward again.
100-0. Nicely played by LGD. The stuns from the Earthshaker layer just nicely enough to be able to get the shotgun. This ward.
No, yeah, it's like, this is, you just don't expect this as TSpirit.
Yeah, like most of the time, this part of the map, like you give up your tier 1 tower, and then sometimes you just don't really play into your tier 2 safe lane at all. And LGD is just giving TSpirit no quarter whatsoever. They're going to keep on hunting here, finding Yutoro, jumping onto him, tossing the Clockwork away as best he can, but he's not going to be able to deal with this Morphling when he shows up. The Morphling, Ame, just blows up Mira, deals with Yutoro in time. The only real escape here is maybe Poshka. Oh, Yutoro thought he could get away with that BKB. Nice toss-up. And it's actually pretty funny that he can grab the Earthshaker mid-air from Enchant Totem. Nothing to say. He's trying this by himself. Swap for a second to be able to get that damage reduction that allows Collapse to be able to live. But the fact that Nothing to Say can do that in the first place, with nobody around.
He got a solo kill.
He just ran down mid-tier 2 looking for kills.
Goodness gracious. I mean, it's just, these guys are just grandmasters, man. Talk about, it's like watching Bobby Fischer, but instead of having to deal with deep...
And it's up.
Your shrine has fallen to the dark. Radiant's top tower.
The problem is, that's an Aegis on Ame. So it was really cool play. They swapped him into a pre-laid out Aether Remnant from the Void Spirit so they can get an instant stun. But again, it's still an Aegis. It was such a cool play, but it did nothing for them besides taking away an Aegis, so I guess it's not a threat, but yeah. Again, TSpirit had this nice lower bracket run through the Dota Pit tournament, made it all the way to the grand finals, even taking a game off of LGD there. But that was also an LGD with Xiaowei.
Yeah.
And now this is the full LGD squad that, by the way, won that tournament. It's been looking incredibly good. And just seems to be getting better and better.
Yeah, I love this decision. Nothing to Say. He went for a Lotus, so another method of dealing with Spirit Vessel, but also just, you know, it helps his allies, right? He can now provide cleanse for Ame, who rushed this Satanic for the same reason. That defensive cleanse is tackle. You can what? Soul Catcher's gone.
Yeah.
The inevitable
Spirit
silence
Vessel,
from Toronto Tokyo.
silence.
Spirit Vessel, exactly. Like, there's just so much you
Dire's
can
middle
remove.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, now it's time. You can't get Aegis as an objective. You've already quantified that, but tier 2 bottom is open, and then you go for outpost. And once again, I just love how the wards seem to follow them around the map. They now have a
Radiant's
double
bottom
sentry
tower
placed
is under
on
attack.
top of the ward just above that
Radiant
objective. So
structures
they would
are
see
fortified.
Yatoro if he were to
Dire's
make a move
structures
towards
are
them
fortified.
from an unexpected pincer. And of course, the sentry under them at the tower as well.
Dire's middle
Also
tower
love the
is
fact,
under
if you remember
attack.
when Yatoro get that BKB off, of course, why has it done?
Radiant's bottom tower.
Of course he has it
fallen.
does.
Man seems
Dire's
very
middle
prepared
tower
after
has
all.
fallen.
Can we see that
Dire's
ward
top
graphic
tower
again?
is under attack.
This man had like 20 sentries laid out in the first 15 minutes of the game or something. Like, it's an LGD team that's winning, and White's like, I've got net worth to play with. It's just going to be tons of sentries. He is going to die here, though. Yatoro is going to be able to catch him. Maybe the Earthshaker as well. Mazion couldn't actually make it over the top of that one. He does manage to get off the Echo Slam. The Vengeful is out. They're going to try and chase that down to make sure the Vengeful Spirit is no longer in this fight whatsoever, unless he chooses to buy back.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Arcane Rune and level 18 Death Prophet. What a timing. Who needs Aegis? You have insane, not even net with a bit, with gold lead.
Not a whole lot to say about
Radiant's
this one.
bottom tower
This is just LGD.
I think I misspoke. It's not the gold, it's the XP. If you check out the hero levels, like both of your big cores on PSG.LGD are 18 plus.
Yeah.
Your off lane is both 14, like they're keeping up with the enemy mid laner. It's not the gold that's really giving them this huge edge. Death Prophet is very much XP based damage.
Yeah.
Every upgrade in your ultimate is significantly more damage. Level 2 to level 3 increases your output by 50%.
And soon he's going to have the 20 talent as well, which makes him even harder to bring down when he's got Yule's Lotus Orb like this with the Sange, which is a really cool idea with the Spirit Siphon.
Yep. Halbert's very nice against Tiny. We talked about how the hero hates having to buy MKB, and of course the active disarm is incredibly effective.
Slowed down by the Echo Saber hit, gets the toss off, but not a real threat, just a poke.
And it's the drain. It's actually nuts. You can see why they first toot the hero.
Yeah.
You get so much of the did he talented as well? No, he went for the magic resist. Like that a lot.
Yeah.
5.5% of the max HP.
Yeah,
drain.
3,000 health Tiny.
Yeah.
It's going to give you a lot.
And of course the added sustain because of Halberd. No Aegis available this time. I also love Faith Beyond's build, just straight up bringing out a BKB. No blink, just get the Aghanim's, have a BKB. That is more than enough delivery. Closing on Scotty, but they're just going to keep rolling it.
Radiant's
Ward
middle
set up
tower is
in
under
advance.
attack. Dire's
Man, look at
top
that
tower is
hero
under
damage
attack.
from Shin-Q. Good job on that Winter Wyvern. And several
Radiant's
quite nice
middle
Winter
tower
Curve.
has fallen. Radiant are scattered.
Beyond just charging headlong in. The rocket is going to be able to give him some vision as well. And collapse. They're going to make sure he's going to die. Probably not once, but probably twice.
Trees. The swap breaks the trees. And poor collapse. He's just like, oh, that.
There's nowhere to hide now.
And now the line drawn. Ame's like, all right, guys, great job. Let me finish my Scotty real fast, and we will continue objectives. I just can't stop geeking out about the wards. Like, with the exception of the one that was placed on the high ground.
And that was
near Radiant
Shin-Q.
Ancients.
You can blame him. That wasn't a Y war.
Why is a TI winner? He does not get dewarded, and it's just it's very common.
38
Dire's
wards.
middle tower is under
Look at
attack.
that. It's very common for inexperienced supports to just kind of place wards for like good vision, right?
Yeah.
But it's rare that you see
Radiant's top tower is
like
under
the
attack.
strategy so obvious
Dire's
in the way
middle
vision
tower
is
is under
utilized.
attack.
It's not just the first. It's defensive. You know, you're setting up in preparation for your enemy's plays, and now it's all about just making your own moves.
Radiant's top tower
Much like when they pushed bottom and had the safety of the ward above them, now they have wards to the right as they push top.
Rocket spots Miposhka, forced out to get away from the arrow, but still staying on top of Miposhka to make sure he dies. As his team is currently assaulting the top lane.
Go Arcane Rune.
I mean, TSpirit, It feels bad, but twice now. Okay, they do manage to get the swap and the Ether Remnant combination to be able to bring down the Morphling, but the curse! Shin-Q just beautiful on top of the Tiny, leading into the Echo Slam. The combo is real from LGD, and it's certainly going to be a combo that knocks out TSpirit. They have no say in this game. LGD is just going to march through all of these heroes, take down the buildings,
Radiant's middle tower.
probably close it out here. I mean, they don't even have another swap just yet. It's a cute play, but I feel like it's like the only play we've seen from TSpirit.
Yeah, they had. I mean, they got the Aegis in the one. That was nice. Unfortunately, it's just not enough. I just love the way PSG.LGD play. Like their two big cores are hitting power. As Faith, Beyond, and Y kill a support.
Yeah.
And Jin-Q kind of like rotates over, like you don't watch football, but you know he's like like the strong safety, like drifting to the weak side, and then even know, okay, I'll go back and cover deep.
Hook shot in deep here as the Cold Embrace is going to be able to keep nothing to stay alive. Not even just alive, but fully healed up. Collapse, certainly dead, comes back in spirit form while nothing to say. Looks to be able to run down Yatoro. They're going to try and slow him down until their damage dealer can finally finish mine. Looks like they're dealing with that nasty spirit for now. As Y, okay, he's going to commit his life to be able to stall off Yatoro. They do manage to get a nice arrow. That finishes off Shin-Q at least, but Ame... Okay, never mind. They don't have any detection, so Yatoro is going to be able to get away cleanly here. Maybe TSpirit can actually hold this out here. It is a 4 versus 3. I'm not sure if they can deal with Ame.
Radiant's middle
Problem is, they can kite back all they want. The buildings are exposed. This is going to be mega soon. Miss out on the disruption arrow combination.
Discipline, you know.
That's it.
I'm telling you, man, this squad, there is no. Yeah, GG. It's over, but I love that PSG.LGD. You know, maybe there was a 0.5 to 0.1% shot that Spirit can come back.
Yep.
They're down 2, as you said. So yeah, we got Vengeful back on. Like, they are all business. They are not here to